The argument between strawberry and raspberry. In a sunny, cozy corner of the garden, strawberry and raspberry grew. Both were undoubtedly beautiful and emitted a fragrance that was hard to resist. But one day, a dispute flared up between them. Which of them was sweeter? Strawberry majestically raised its bright red heads and declared, "I adorn any dessert. My presence makes flavors brighter and aromas richer. I am without a doubt sweeter." Raspberry, not to be outdone, trembled with its tender, ruby berries. Maybe you are beautiful, but true sweetness lies in the depth of taste. My flavor is rich and multifaceted. It conquers from the first touch. I deserve the title of the sweetest. Thus, their dispute reached its climax under the rays of the summer sun, until they heard the voice of the old wise apple tree, which had been growing nearby for many years. My dears, why argue when each of you is unique in your own way? But if you really want to find out the answer, I propose a challenge. Strawberry and raspberry were intrigued. Tomorrow, children from the nearby house will come to our garden. Treat them with your berries and let them decide whose sweetness has conquered them more. Thus, you will find the answer to your question, suggested the apple tree. The next day, when the sun barely touched the treetops, a group of cheerful children burst into the garden. Strawberry and raspberry, forgetting about the dispute, offered them their berries. The children eagerly rushed to them, and soon the air was filled with laughter and admiring exclamations. "What delicious strawberries!" some rejoiced. "And the raspberries are just a miracle," others exclaimed. When the children had eaten their fill and played to their heart's content, they approached strawberry and raspberry. "You both are magnificent. It's impossible to choose who among you is sweeter, because you both make the world around sweeter and brighter." Strawberry and raspberry looked at each other and realized that the dispute was in vain. Instead of competing, they should rejoice in the joy and sweetness they could bring to those around them. From then on, they no longer argued, but lived in harmony, complementing each other. The garden dwellers understood that there is room in the world for all tastes and fragrances, and it is precisely this diversity that makes life so beautiful. The story of one zucchini. In a distant and cozy garden, where the sun shone brighter and the rain caressed the earth more tenderly, a zucchini named Kabi grew. Kabi was not just any zucchini. He dreamed of becoming the biggest and tastiest zucchini in the whole garden. Around Kabi, other vegetables grew: proud tomatoes, slender cucumbers, and fluffy carrots. They were all beautiful and unique in their own way, but Kabi felt a bit lonely among them. It seemed to him that no one noticed his true beauty and potential. One day, as the sun was setting on the horizon, covering the garden in golden light, an old wise pumpkin approached Kabi. She had heard about Kabi's dreams and decided to share a secret with him. "Kabi, your strength is not in being the biggest or the tastiest. Your true strength lies in sharing with others and being part of something bigger." Kabi pondered the pumpkin's words. He began to notice how everything in the garden interacted with each other, how bees pollinated the flowers, how rain nourished the earth, and how all the vegetables supported each other, reaching for the sun. Deciding to follow the pumpkin's advice, Kabi started looking for ways to be useful. He invited tired travelers, insects, to rest in the shade of his leaves on hot days. Kabi also began to help the little seedlings next to him, protecting them from the too bright rays of the sun with his broad foliage. Over time, Kabi indeed grew larger, not just in size, but also in taste. But now, this was no longer his main concern. He realized that true happiness does not come from personal superiority, but from the opportunity to be part of a common cause and share his essence with others. When the harvest came, the gardener admired Kabi. "What a zucchini!" he exclaimed, not just because of his size and taste, but also because around Kabi, all the plants seemed happier and healthier. Kabi realized that he had become not just a zucchini, but a true friend to everyone in the garden. He learned, grew, and helped others, becoming an example of how one kind deed can change the world around. Thus, the story of Kabi became a legend of the garden, reminding everyone that our strength lies not in our individual achievements, but in how we can enrich the world around us. Pumpkin. In a forgotten and quiet garden, where the sun tenderly kissed the earth, and the moon wrapped everything around in silvery light at night, an extraordinary pumpkin grew. This pumpkin was unlike any of its garden fellows. It was so large and bright orange that it could boldly claim itself as a wonder of nature. The pumpkin was named Tilda, and she proudly stood out among the greenery, dreaming of grand adventures. She listened to the wind's tales of distant lands where mountains touch the clouds and seas whisper the secrets of ancient times. But how could a pumpkin travel when it was bound to the earth? One day, the old farmer came to the garden to harvest. Seeing Tilda, he was amazed by her size and beauty. "I have never seen such a pumpkin," he said. "You will be the star of the autumn festival in our town." Tilda was excited. She had always dreamed of seeing something new, stepping beyond her garden, and now her dream was beginning to come true. When the day of the festival arrived, Tilda was carefully moved to the town's large square, where all the residents gathered. She was decorated with colorful ribbons and glitter, feeling like the true queen of autumn. But the real adventure began when the city's children decided to make Tilda into a mysterious house for their games. They carved windows and a door in the pumpkin, decorated it inside with little lanterns, and started playing around her, telling each other stories of magical creatures and distant journeys. Tilda listened to their stories and imagined traveling with them. It seemed to her that she was really being transported to other worlds she had long dreamed of. The festival passed, but the memories of it remained in Tilda's heart. She realized that even without leaving the garden, she could experience true adventures and discover the wonders of the world through the stories and dreams of the people around her. Thus, the pumpkin named Tilda became the symbol of the autumn festival in the city, a reminder that miracles happen where they are believed in, and that even the most incredible dreams can find a way to realization if shared with others.
More fairy tales on the Wizard of Tales channel. Subscribe!